few stories for you. Tsadkan, TDF Channel, was interviewed by BBC a few hours ago. An important interview in which he talked about some key developments within the past few days. We'll have a detailed look at Tsadkan's interview with BBC. Before that, viewers, we have a breaking news from Sudan for you. Abdullah Hamdok, Sudanese PM, is about to resign. In a meeting with Sudanese political figures and some other figures, he disclosed that in coming hours he was going to resign. Why is Abdullah Hamdok resigning? On Sunday, we saw massive protests in Sudan. I shared videos, pictures with you. Tens of thousands of protesters marched towards presidential palace in Khartoum. Despite obstacles, they managed to reach presidential palace. But security forces fired tear gas, viewers, and live ammunition was also fired. At least 2 protesters were killed. So far, 47 protesters have been killed in the ongoing protests since a coup was staged in Sudan at the end of October, when PM Abdullah Hamdok was put under house arrest. Later, he was released. He signed an agreement with Abdul Fattah al-Burhan, Sudanese army chief, but the agreement was rejected by Sudanese protesters. Viewers, on Sunday, according to UN human rights body, during the protest, 13 women and girls were raped by security officials. UN has issued a statement. US Aid has issued a statement. They are condemning this violence against women, and that is why pressure was building upon Hamdok. He had lost the support of protesters as well. Protesters are now demanding not only accountability of Abdul Fattah al-Burhan and Sudanese army, but they are criticizing Hamdok too, that Hamdok unilaterally struck a deal with Abdul Fattah al-Burhan, and he just bargained to secure his own release. So that is why he was paralyzed. He has lost the support of political factions and protesters. That is why he is about to resign. It will lead to further instability in Sudan. Sudan is in the grips of instability, viewers, and so far, no signs of any solution to this conflict. Sudanese military is not willing to step back. It is a key player in Sudanese politics. Protesters want civilian rule. They want no role of Sudanese military in politics. That is what happens. Secondly, Tsadkan, one of the top TDF channels, was interviewed by BBC a few hours ago. What did he say? First and the foremost thing is that he is alive, because rumors have been going around that he had been killed. I think a week ago I shared a video of Tsadkan. People said the video was old. He was talking about old developments in the video. Now at least it has been confirmed that he is alive. BBC is confirming that it has interviewed Tsadkan a few hours ago, firstly. Secondly, he was asked questions about drones. Why did Tigray Defense Force withdraw from Amhara and Afar regions? He agreed partially to this observation that drones were a major cause behind the withdrawal of Tigray forces. He said supply lines of Tigray forces were overstretched. So their trucks, their supplies became vulnerable to drone strikes. But he also said that it was not the only cause. He said there was not political and diplomatic mechanism in Addis Ababa to rule Ethiopia, to run the government, had TDF managed to reach Addis Ababa. But he confirmed that drones were the major cause behind TDF's withdrawal from Amhara foreign. That is what I have been saying. He confirmed that. Secondly, he said bulk of Tigray Defense Force has withdrawn into Tigray. It's intact. Again, we have been saying that as well. That Tigray Defense Force has managed to withdraw and much of its military strength is intact. It's in terms of its manpower, in terms of its military resources, much of its military strength is intact. He also confirmed that. He was asked a question about Western Tigray, that why is that Tigray forces did not launch an attack on Western Tigray. Instead, they started moving towards Addis Ababa. He said that Tigray wanted to finish the war soon by putting pressure upon Ethiopian government. That is why it decided to move toward Addis Ababa. But we know that TDF has been trying to take control of Western Tigray. It has launched several attacks into Western Tigray, but it could not make any inroads. That is what on the ground situation. It is that TDF tried, but it could not make inroads into Western Tigray. He says that due to international calls, Tigray forces have withdrawn and they want to give peace a chance. But we say that it was mainly due to military setbacks caused by drone strikes that Tigray Defense Force is withdrawing. An important interview, it shows Tsadkan is alive, it shows that their bulk of their strength, military strength is intact, and it shows that the war is not over. If Ethiopian government forces try to go deep into Tigray, war will go on. In the next video, we'll try to analyze Ethiopian government's military strategy about Tigray. We have learned from a few some sources told us about the new strategy of Ethiopian government forces. In the next video, we'll try to analyze this strategy in detail. Will it work? How will TDF counter this new strategy? Because today we'll have a live chat session too. Several important things have happened. Let's discuss them in today's live chat session at 1400 hours GMT. Join me at 1400 hours GMT for the live chat session. Watch a small clip of Tsadkan's interview with BBC. Thanks for watching.
The bulk of our forces are inside the constitutionally recognized part of Tigray. There could be some forces still traveling to Tigray or some forces posted for security purposes, but the bulk of our forces are inside Tigray. Mind you, we have taken this political decision and the withdrawal operation at a time when the whole of Western Tigray is under the occupation of Eritrea and Ethiopian allied Ethiopian forces. Some forces of Isaias are still in some parts of northern Tigray. Their commanders are planning operations in Addis Ababa. Their mechanized experts are commanding Ethiopian mechanized units. So we have decided to withdraw, and we have withdrawn the bulk of our forces into Tigray on the consideration that we want to give peace a chance.
You say that this was a political decision, this move back into Tigray of pretty much all your forces. There have been lots of reports that actually what has driven you back has been the military successes of your opponents, in particular the use of combat drones against your stretched supply lines into Amhara and Afar and down the road towards Addis Ababa. That has been a big part of the reason why you have withdrawn forces, isn't it?
I would not say it was not a factor.